represented in the world's finals of the Young Persons World Lecture Materials Competition 2014 in the United States of America. And the person who went there and won third place out of all the participants from around the world is here in the studio today. Good morning to you, Losini Amarasan from Selangor. Congratulations for winning third place, first of all.
Thank you, Calvin.
And how has it been since you win and come back? How has your couple of months been? Because we know that the competition was in October and now it is early March. How's it like winning third place for people around the world, and you're from Malaysia?
Yeah, I feel very happy and motivated. There are many people who congratulated me and even encouraged me, and also thanks to the newspaper who telecasted my articles.
Nice. So, Loshini, I have to ask, where did this passion of yours come from? I mean, learning to speak in public, it's not something you just pick up. You're either born with it or someone inspired you.
No, I'm not a speaker since young. So during my final year project in my undergraduate, I presented and one of my lecturer encouraged me. Actually, for the first level of the competition, during the university representative level, I had my hands and legs were shaking, my words were jittering, and then finally I managed to pull through. But throughout the levels of the competition, I managed to calm my nerves, and I was even more comfortable speaking in front of the crowd.
Nice.
And how long did this entire thing take? Did you have to go for another country first, or was it done in Malaysia for a while before you had to go to the States?
Okay, they had a few levels in Malaysia. First, a university representative, and then they had a semi-final to shortlist 5 finalists, and finally we had the finals to select the champion to represent Malaysia.
Wow. Did you ever think that you would be involved in something as big as this?
Nothing, not at all. Even when I wanted to finish up my university, my motive was just graduate and then continue my work.
Speaking of university, you were saying that you were a university student when you took part in the competition. What did you study in university?
I'm a graduate from telecommunication engineering.
Do you enjoy what you studied?
Actually, to be honest, it's not my kind of thing.
Oh, why
not? Because engineering more to technical basis. Even before joining this competition, I knew that my talent is in speaking, and I wanted to take up business.
It's quite interesting because the World Lecture Materials Competition has been held for quite a while now, about 9 or 10 years, yes? And it was first held in 2005. It was an initiative to enhance awareness among young materials scientists and engineers on the importance of materials engineering, innovations in materials, and sustainability in the advancement of technology and humankind. Now, the things that you studied in university, did it help you, to write your script and to give your 15-minute lecture? Because that's what you need to do at the competition, right?
Yep, definitely, because it is one of my research during my final year project. I did my experiment, my research. So from that research, I got my findings in terms of the results. That helped me a lot. Actually, that's the base.
That's great news. What was it like for you going to represent Malaysia at the competition? I mean, had you ever left Malaysia before then?
No, and I traveled alone. I traveled all by myself to the US. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, just by their instruction.
What was that like when you are in a new place, you're meeting new people? Were you thinking, oh my, everybody's so much cooler, they're speaking
smarter.
better?
Yeah, definitely. Because when I was traveling, I was quite nervous, and they told me the instruction where should I stand. I just straight away got back to the hotel, and once they are there, I feel safe.
Nice.
And I met all the contestants there. They were pretty talented. Most of them are masterate students, doctorate students.
Yeah, well, I can imagine how nerve-wracking that was for you, but you just managed to just block it all out, put yourself on stage, and you got third place. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And this is third place for everyone in the world, yes?
Yes,
there are
10
other people from
participants,
other countries.
Yep.
And which are the countries that stood out among the countries that you met? The participants of the countries, which ones were like, whoa, that girl is really smart. Oh, wow, that guy, he speaks perfectly. Any
Practically everyone. They are so knowledgeable because for my trip, we had a week. One day for the competition, the rest of it were fun activities and educational activities. So during our visit to the companies, I see all the contestants asking the lecturers so many questions, where me sitting down and just listening to them, everything was new to me. They were pretty talented. So obviously, the guy who won the first place, so he was really, really talented.
Fantastic. Also, one thing important to know, I think Mary and I both know this, is according to research, one of the fastest way to burn fat or burn calories in your body is to do public speaking.
Yes. Really? Because then you get really nervous and you don't want to eat anything.
Oh, yeah. True.
One of the biggest phobias in the world is the phobia to go in front of a group of people who you don't know and speak to them as if you're more knowledgeable than they are, or if you got something to share. So for you, as a young woman, you're 24, 25 this year?
I'm 25 this year.
And you have never been out of the country before, and you have won this. You've gone out of your comfort zone to join the Young Persons World Lecture Competition in the United States. What were the challenges that you had to go through during the competition?
The main challenge, as I said, was speaking in front of the public. Like I said, I was not a public speaker since I was young. So my first experience were during this competition, but somehow I managed to pull through with the support of my family and friends.
Was it different for you to speak in front of a Malaysian crowd as opposed to an American crowd?
Yep, definitely. I had one of my professor coming over there, and while I was speaking, she was listening to me, she was nodding to me, so that gave me confidence.
Nice. Yep. That's really good. At least you had somebody with you.
Somebody supported me.
You weren't all by yourself. Well, we're going to take a quick break right here on the A-Team. We are speaking to the lovely Loshini Amarasan. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in electronics, majoring in telecommunication engineering, and she was recently representing Malaysia at the Young Persons World Lecture Competition, YPWLC. We'll speak more to her when we return right here on Traxx.
This is my heartbeat.
Mary and Kevin, the last hour of the show, we've got a lovely guest in the studio today, Loshini, who was recently at the YPWLC, the Young Persons World Lecture Competition. And Loshini, I have to ask you, do you find yourself now looking at other speakers and thinking to yourself, you find yourself thinking, no, that they're not doing it the right way. It should be done this way. It should be done that way.
No, not at all. Because even before I joined the competition, they had videos of the previous contestants in the website. I did not miss any one of them.
So you watched everybody?
Yeah, I watch everybody, the way they speak, their body language, how confident they were.
Okay, then let me ask you this. As someone who has won third place out of all these participants from around the world, World Lecture Competition, Young Persons World Lecture Competition in the United States, what do you think makes a good speaker?
You should be confident. You should be smiling always. Do not make any mistakes. Because right after I finished my competition, I had people coming over to me. You were smiling all the way, and that was nice. And they were listening to me from the first minute till the 15th minute.
And how do you think you captured their attention and their concentration? That would be quite tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when someone is coming to watch the competition and they know it's a lecture competition, which means each of your sets of talk on stage would be at least 15 minutes.
Yep.
And how do you sustain that?
Okay, that's the thing, because I do not want to bore the audiences. So how do I want to present my material in 15 minutes? I made it interesting with videos, with pictures, and make it as simple as possible so they understand what I'm talking about.
So you made things easier for them, and
definitely.
indirectly easier for you as well.
Yep, exactly.
Good job. Smart thinking.
What was your topic when you were giving the lecture?
My topic was on silica fiber to be the next dosimeter material.
Maybe you could break that down to us just a little bit.
Don't get it.
Okay. Silica fiber is an optical fiber to be used in the medical industry. We have radiotherapy going on. Doctors are helping the patients out to kill their cancer cells. They are also exposed to the radiation. So silica fiber is a material in thermoluminescence dosimeter. It's a device. So that could detect how much of radiation they are exposed to. So silica fiber is a research to be replaced with calcium fluoride, because calcium fluoride is quite expensive in the market. So now $1 million project is going on to replace the silica fiber with calcium fluoride. So that was my research and my finding, to prove to them that silica fiber could be replaced with calcium fluoride.
Kevin, I feel like I want her to keep talking.
I feel like I want to live forever.
I love listening to you talk.
Thank you.
Wow.
I think the knowledge that you have on a certain topic really helps you. Do you think that you won third place and you represented Malaysia because this is something you personally care about? This is something you know a lot about, and you think that this is something you should be speaking about?
And you're very passionate about.
Yeah, definitely. I just took up this topic because I have to take this in order to graduate. So at the beginning, it was just like a subject. I should get off with in order to graduate.
Like
then initially,
yeah, it's like I have to do it, and then
I
it
have
turned
to
into
do it.
something. You're like, oh, now I love talking about this.
yeah, when I presented during my presentation, so my moderator, she came up to me, she congratulated me. She was like, you spoke very well. And then once I get out of the university, I got a special mail from her telling that there's this competition going on. Why don't you just join since you have the presentation skills? Because more to technical, they look at how do you speak, how confident you are. So, and then I just wanted to give a try actually. That's how I got into.
Well, who were the judges at the competition?
Malaysia level, they had different judges, like all Malaysian lecturers, professors, they are very, very knowledgeable. They are in high position. Even in the US, they are from industrial, they are from technical background, there are professors, academician, everyone.
Well, since you had to travel alone, what was the piece of advice that you got from your family? I'm sure they were feeling really bad that they couldn't come and accompany you and show you some support with some pom-poms. Like, "Hey," you know? Well, what was the piece of advice they left for you before you took off?
They told me to be independent because I'm 25 this year and I've not traveled anywhere alone. So they were pretty worried, but they told me that they were confident because the people there, they gave me a very, how do I say, like
a very big penthouse.
Yeah, they gave me a correct information, something to be reliable on. Something to reliable on. So all they told me is just call them up and then just get to the right place.
Have you ever felt like maybe at one point you said, oh, this is getting out of control. I just started doing this as like out of class activity. And now I'm representing my university. And now I'm representing my country. Has it ever hit you? Or were you just like, oh, I go with the flow. I can do anything.
Yeah, I went with the flow. I went with the flow. I did not want to quit. I wanted to do something. Like I just studied telecommunication engineering throughout my university. I did not join any competition. So this was it. This was my time. So I just let it go.
Was it your first one?
Yep.
Your first one and you won world number 3?
Nice job. You could teach some people about confidence on stage.
Yeah.
Very proud of you, Loshini.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's take a short break. And when we come back later, we're going to talk about what happened after the competition and the people she first contacted and how she felt the second she was announced that she was number 3 out of all the participants in the world when it comes to the World Lecture Competition in the United States. This is Kevin and Mary, and you are on the A-Team.
This is the A-Team with Mary and Kevin. We're speaking to the lovely Loshini, and she recently represented Malaysia in the World Finals of the Young Persons World Lecture Materials Competition 2014 in the USA. And she came in 3rd place, our very own Malaysian. Welcome to the studio, Loshini, once again.
Thank you.
And Loshini, you actually should be very proud of yourself because the contestants are from various corners of the world. We're looking at contestants from Brazil, Ireland, Hong Kong, Singapore, the United States, London, and South Africa. And obviously, these are the kids who are at the top of the universities to be able to be featured on the world stage for the lecture competition. And you won 3rd place out of all these people. And the person who won 1st and 2nd place, where are they from? The people?
The first was born by South Africa, second from Ireland.
Ireland and South Africa. Well, did they announce your name first because you were 3rd place?
Yeah,
or was
they announced my name first.
And how did that moment when they announced your name out of all these countries, how did it feel?
Even when speaking in front of people, I was not shaking. But when they announced my name, my hands were shaking. When I was receiving the prizes, I was so happy. And I could see one of my professors, she was all smiling all the way.
Aww. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Mary.
Well, what are your plans now, Loshini?
Okay, I'm planning to further my studies in Masters in MBA because I'm more interested into business field because it requires me to speak and meet people. So I believe that this course would expand my career in the business field.
Do you think you're more of a business person or an academic person, or do you want to continue? Maybe in the future you could start teaching people how to do public speaking.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Because I'm just going with a flow. I do not put this is what I'm going to do. So I'm just going with the flow. Like my first step now is taking up MBA and then just move from then on.
Okay, well, you know what? Last but not least, Loshini, your piece of advice to anybody who is perhaps, afraid to speak in public or anyone who's got dreams like you to represent the country, to be doing something they love?
Yeah.
My message would be to the university or colleges students. I would encourage them to join any competition or activities, because I'm sure there are many activities organized everywhere. Many people don't know that, because by joining this expose their inner talent, their passion, their interest. So participation would be the first success. Winning or losing would be the second.
I think it's great to even be in your resume. You know, I was in the World Championship. I flew to the States. Maybe I won third place. Maybe I didn't win. But who cares? I was representing my country for this.
Yep,
before we end the show, though, is there anybody you would like to thank? The person who encouraged you for the competition? The people who helped you throughout the competition or when you were preparing?
Yeah, definitely. Firstly, it goes to my family. They supported me all through. And then my friends, they even helped me in doing all the videos. They helped me with the presentation slides, and I had some of them presenting in front of them, and they gave me comments. What should I improve? And last but not least, my lecturers, one of my lecturer, Madam Alawia, she was not with me right beside me, but I knew that I was WhatsApping her, and she did not fail to message me even if it's early in the morning.
I think she gave some fantastic points and tips over there. If you have a presentation, present it in front of your friends and see what they think.
In front of the mirror too.
Yeah, so if your friends are not going to buy your pitch, your clients are probably not going to buy it.
Not either, yeah. Well, congratulations once again, Loshini, and we wish you nothing but the best in the future.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Calvin.
Well, the show's fast coming to an end right here on the A-Team. We've got the news coming up at 10 a.m. And this is the A-Team with Mary and Kevin. Good morning.
Morning!